When has it become a problem that a Nigerian child is qualified to enter university when so long as it's below 18? That is not the problem. Do you know what the problem is? The problem is that we have 18.3 million Nigerian children that are out of school. We don't have a minister who is filled with gusto, who is carrying out spirited moves in the media to finding solution to that. His problem, his headache, is that the Nigerian child is too brilliant, and so he has to be stifled. He has to be held down because he has to attain a certain age before he goes to university. And then I'm happy that the respectable madam over there says she's not speaking from the standpoint of research. She doesn't have any data about whether there are miracle centers. She doesn't have data about exceptionally gifted Nigerian students that they want to deprive of their right to growth. You think the idea that a child is able to pass exams because when he's 14, the exams that adults could not pass, but he passed out at 14, you think it's because he did exam malpractice? No, it's as a result of discipline that many adults don't have. You think that age is a matter, that it determines maturity? People put in a whole lot of parents that we know put in a whole lot to discipline their children, whereas others don't. And then the ones who learn, who are able to express themselves, we in Africa, it's our joy to hold them down as if we hate our children. We keep on having stories, at least make recommendations that, it is proper for the children to go to school when they attain 18, but don't come and make it compulsory. Don't come and impose it. Initially, they said it was a matter of law. I asked, which law? So you have to turn the JAMB Act upside down to be able to find out that a minister can give directives. So we have agreed it's a directive. So, Honorable Minister, what is your problem? What do you have against Nigerian students or children if they are brilliant enough? Madam, again, I ask you in more pointed terms, which miracle centers produce children? Miracle centers are for people who have failed, mainly adults. We are dealing with a situation where our girls don't go to school, but they can be married off on underage, and our boys are more interested in business, incubation, and they don't go to school. We're dealing with real issues, and then you are telling me that Nigerian children should be held down. You keep mentioning other countries that they have a minimum. Look, if you mention countries, please say it in wholesome terms. The point is that it is recommended that a child goes to school at a certain age, but if there are exceptions to it, and it is if the children pass exams in very exceptional terms. Don't forget that we are in this country, and the legal minimum for entry into university in this country for a very long time has been 16 years. It was changed when the federal government adopted the 6334 system, and the idea was to de-emphasize the white-collar jobs so that persons who graduate from JS3 can go and do vocational work, not necessarily because there was anything wrong for a 16-year-old to get into school. Why do we deceive ourselves? And we always do these things in a politically correct manner. We have something else in our mind, but we come and say, it is a matter of law. It's no longer a matter of law. It's a matter of preference that we are against our children. Please, I will recommend very strongly to the Honorable Minister to listen to the highly respected Afe Babalola SAN in his article in the Tribune, where with a lot of wisdom, advising the federal government not to go too far. Look at ASU. ASU is now cherry picking and being politically correct. One way they will say, we need university autonomy. We should determine the fate of how our university, the standards of how our university should operate. So before that, it is the Senate of the universities that make recommendation as to the legal minimum age of entrance. Today, it's not a federal matter. I see the federal government does not have enough issues to bother. You wonder why we talk about issues of true federalism? So we are not going to take away the right of University Senate to determine whether the age of a child to enter university, even when he's exceptionally brilliant. We have data, statistics of young children who enter the university at 14, turn out at 20, they are graduates. They are medical doctors, some of them are professors. But in Africa, and particularly Nigeria, that leads the way back on a backward reverse terms, is to keep those children there until they are recruited to become child soldiers. Look, My critics tell me that I get emotional about these issues, but because I can't understand why a country, a president, a minister will sit down, leave 18 million children that are not in school, and then now begin to bother himself why children who are qualified to go to school should not go, but they should go and play, they should go and be watching video games and doing all sort of things. What a country, for goodness sake. But look, we should tell ourselves the truth, and not say in semantic manner and then come and justify one sort of things that's against our children. That's wrong.
So the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration has mandated that only individuals aged 18 and above can take the NECO and the WAEC examination. What this means is that if you are not up to 18 years of age, you will not be allowed to sit for the WAEC and the NECO examination. Yes, there was a protest that called for the cutting down of the cost of governance, ending bad government, reducing poverty, reducing the out-of-school children, soft insecurity, but the government has not met any of that demand from Nigerians, but rather the government is going to implement more things that will add more sufferings upon Nigeria. When Nigeria got her independence, the mode of education in Nigeria was divided into 6-3-3-4. What this means is that you must be 6 years of age before you get into the primary school. Then when you get into the university, you will spend 3 years in your junior school and 3 years in your senior school. Then you get to the university and you spend 4 years. But over time, the kindergarten system of education was developed. That means you don't need to wait until you are 6 years of age before you get into the school system. You can just get into the school system at the age of 3. You go to the kindergarten education system, you spend 3 years there. By the time you're 6 years, you now get into the primary 1. And then you have the crèche system of education that you have babies that are being taken to a system where they are being taken care of and the rest of it. The system of education is evolving all over the world, is evolving. As a matter of fact, the mode of education that we are practicing in this country has changed over time. Education is not based on age. Education is based on the students' learning abilities. You have students that are fast learners. You have young people that are fast learners. You don't need to restrict them because of their age. You need to allow them flourish with the system of education. When I was in primary school, when I was in primary 5, some of us were selected to write the first school leaving certificate while we were in primary 5. Our teacher selected us to write this examination while we were in primary 5 because of our intelligence capacity. While in secondary school, our teacher selected some of us when we were in JS2 to write the junior WAEC. I wrote my junior WAEC while I was in JS2. I know that some of you have similar stories to tell, but you equally agree with me that currently the people we have now, the kids we have now, they are fast learners. These kids learn faster and you don't need to constrain them because of their age. The world is evolving. As a matter of fact, they've introduced new method of education. The method of education we are practicing in Nigeria has gone obsolete. They've now introduced STEAM. STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Mathematics. This involves giving the student practical skills in this area, practical skills in science, practical skills in technology, practical skills in engineering, practical skills in art, and practical skills in mathematics. The reason is because the problem of this world is centered around these areas. Therefore, students need to acquire these skills in order to proffer solutions to the world's problem. Why other countries are thinking to develop their educational system, our politicians are thinking to destroy our educational system the more, because they've been destroying our educational system over the years. Because I don't even understand the basis of this policy at all. I don't understand what it tends to achieve. Someone will just wake up from the side of the bed and give out one policies without thinking it through, without looking at the pros and cons, without looking at what this thing is going to achieve. The same way they wake up from the wrong side of the bed and announce a petrol subsidy removal without thinking about the after effect of it, that's the same way they've also announced this. Are these people aware that there are students who are in SS3 who are 14, 15, 16 years of age? These are the people that will be writing the next WAEC and NECO examination. Are they thinking about this set of people? What is going to be their fate? That means these ones will wait until they turn 18 years of age before they can write their examination. Do they really think about the stop in gap in their learning process? What is going to happen to them while they are waiting to turn 18 years of age before they can write their examination? Of course, they don't care because they don't even think about all these things. Now, let us even look at the advantages of this policy. What exactly is going to be the advantage of this policy? For somebody to be in SS3 and that person is 14 or 13 years or 15 years of age, it means the person have shown ability, capacity in their learning process. It is not about age. It is about their capacity to grab little concept. Why stopping them from going further? Why stopping them from unleashing their potential? Why will they have to retard their growth? There is no advantages to this at all. All we have is disadvantages. Nigeria currently has 18.1 million people out of school. When I'm talking about 18.1 million people out of school, I'm talking about those that do not have access to primary school education. I am talking about kids, not adults. Kids in their penultimate age that do not have access to primary school education. 18.1 million. The federal government is not thinking of how they are going to pull out these people out of the street. And I'm talking about these people, they are on the street. The federal government is not thinking on how to solve this issue, but rather they are making policies that will send more people to the streets. This like this is going to delay people going into school, and when you delay people going to school, they can find themselves into other ventures. They can even find themselves on the street. This is how we get to where we are today, by having 18.1 million people on the street with no access to primary school education. There are so many pressing things we need to address in this country. There are too many things that are going on in this country that we need to address. This is not one of them. For instance, when you go to the north, there are kids that are 10 years of age, 12 years of age, 14 years of age that are being married off to allergies in their 50s. This has been their practice for decades, but the federal government has not deemed it wise to stop these evil practices. But yet, they deem it wise to stop students that are advancing in their education. Of what benefit is marrying off a kid that is 10, 12, 14 years of age to someone that is 40 years of age, 50 years of age? Of what benefit is it to the Nigerian system? It's destroying the Nigerian system. That is a wicked practice. That is an evil practice. That practice is demonic. That practice is destroying the young girls in the north. But the federal government is not thinking on how to stop it. They are not even making laws to stop it. They are not even talking about it. Even the people that are making these policies to stop young girls, young kids from advancing in their education, they are part of those that are practicing those things in the north. They are part of those that are marrying young girls in the north. Rather than stopping that evil practices, they are stopping something that will allow kids to advance in their education, stopping things that will allow kids to unleash their prowess educationally, stopping things that will add value to Nigeria, that will add value to Nigerian education. Isn't this pathetic? Why other countries are moving forward, your own politicians are taking you backwards. They are taking you backwards in everything. Backwards in your economy, backwards in your security, backwards in your education, backwards in your healthcare, backwards in your quality of life, backwards in everything that has to do with this country. Nigeria is the only country that is geared towards killing the dreams of our people. Nigeria is the only country that devours our citizens, and this is a terrible thing we are experiencing. The problem is because you people elect leaders that are not thinking. You people elect leaders that are not futuristic. People that are not thinking about the next generation. All they are thinking about is now. How they can loot the state treasury dry. Of everything that is happening in this country, of everything that Nigerians are clamoring for, they are not even looking towards that area. They are going to things that we don't even think about. They are so concerned about creating policies. Then they should create policies that will stop politicians from sending their kids abroad. And do you know one thing? This policy is not even going to affect the kids of politicians, because most of these kids don't even write WAEC. They write SAT. Once they are done, they go abroad for their education. They don't even care about your WAEC or NECO. So it's not even affecting them. Whatever thing that will affect them, they will not create it. They will not do the policies. They will only do things that will affect the life of the ordinary Nigerians. Why not create policies that will stop looting? Anyone that loots, everything the person has looted, every of his properties will be confiscated from the person. Why not create policies like that? This will help to move this country forward. But yet you are creating policies that is endangering our life and our future generation. But I will not blame these guys. I will blame people that voted for them. I will blame people that are defending them. There are people to date are still defending this government. There are people today, they don't even see the wrong in what is happening. They don't even see the wrong in these policies. Go on social media. You will never see the supporters of Bola Ahmed Tinubu calling against these policies. It is dreadful. It is disaster. May God help us. No, God will not help us. You Nigerians, you will help yourself, because God has given you everything to help yourself. It is your duty to help yourself, whether you like it or not. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.